Okay, take two. All right, great. So, world update. Of course, I'm not bringing up. I'm not putting the word. I'm not going into details for obvious reasons because I get flagged and all kinds of shit. Of course, I just bomb that. But anyway. So yeah, what's happening in the Middle East? So I guess there was a strike after all. It's hard to say what he was gonna do. It's like, first off, why are you telling people anything? So connecting to the energies of Iran and all, just like Russia, they're probably not going to stand down. Of course, you never know. Iran, maybe, probably not. They haven't done it so far. They might do peace talks, whatever that means. That's about it. You got to take them out. Because if they can't win the war, they know if they get taken out, it makes it worse for Israel and the U.S. because now they got nation building going on in terms of Iraq. So we'll see. Most likely that's the scenario. It's too early to tell. There'll be retaliation, probably throughout. Of course, you haven't heard about ISIS in like anyway. Whatever. It's all CIA anyway, right? In theory. Yeah, where things are heading is, it was never going to work good no matter what. So there's never an easy situation, any peace talks. It's just there's a lot of stuff we don't know about, obviously, on the surface. So yeah, it's for chaos purposes and so on. So like I said, it's too early to tell on anything, but like I said, judging by the energies, I don't see Iran backing down at all, and you have to like somehow. I guess they're all underground, at least the government officials. I don't know if they might be in Iraq. They might have some hideout there somewhere possibly. I'm not sure how they do that, but so yeah, this might get really nasty though. We'll have to wait and see. Doesn't mean it'll be World War III, but it's not going to be good though. And I don't see China wanting to do. I felt China yesterday, but I don't think they want to get too involved with it. Of course, they are probably involved in some level, but not. I don't think they want a world war or anything like that. Even if they do have the resources. Yeah, for what reason? So I feel like China wants to stay out of it. I mean, they don't want this to happen at all. Nobody does, but Russia's already thinned out as it is. So, what can Russia do right at this point? Well, that's right. If you want to end the war in Ukraine, just give Ukraine to Russia, and that'll be the end of that. Problem solved. Yeah, that'll end that in one day. It doesn't look like that's going to happen, but that would be the way to shut that one down. Then on to the next situation. But yeah, Iran is, it's dirty. Of course, we're not being told the full story. Why would we be? Who are we anyway? Yeah, it's an elite game, of course. They play both sides and so on, so. And we're just, majority is just an NPC society, for better or for worse. And of course, that can change. You know, who knows? Well, maybe not in this lifetime. It's not as easy as it sounds. Of course, I guess I should bring this up. Okay, some of the New Agers, of course, the New Age groups. I mean, some of them, that's where they are on their soul path. That's where they gotta be. Love and light and lost all over. I mean, it's a learning process. It's understood. Then there's others that are just doing it because they have to pay the rent. Which is, I understand why, just positive and blah. I don't know what that does to the soul, though. I mean, it's like, okay, you're trying to be super positive. You can go a bit deeper, but you try not to because you don't want to anger anybody or you want to kiss everyone's ass, basically. But what does that do to the soul? Like you can't evolve, but you don't. It's like you're half evolving. We tell it how it is and just be, whatever. Whatever. What you gotta do, right? It's a mess out there, as usual. Oh, yeah. Without going into all the details. So, yeah, this happened on a Saturday, which is kind of interesting. Everything happens on a Tuesday, it seems, or a Wednesday. I guess not everything's going to happen that way. Depends on what it is. So I was talking to comment private sessions. Schedule a shop here. Where do we go from here? We just have to see where this plays out. Oh yeah, I posted another alien video. That one's been talking to me for a while of him running from the government again and have a spaceship taken away and whatever. Having a disguise. Yeah, the disguise part is pretty funny. Nobody will notice anything. Of course, it's Las Vegas too. Nobody pays attention to anything there. So that's why I picked it. Well, it's by Area 51 too. So I imagine Las Vegas has seen their fair share. What stays in Vegas, right? So it's pretty funny though. Kind of need that. I didn't even know about the bomb stuff happened. At 8 o'clock, so the alien video came out earlier. So yeah, clear the frequencies, put out some disclosure before the world ends. Something like that. This is an Orion War, of course. Of course, people here are, technically enslaved, it's a prison society. It's not easy to break free. I've always heard this, you don't have to see it as, it is a prison no matter what. However you look at it. Within your lifespan, you can free yourself little by little if you want to. The world itself can free itself too. It's not happening. I think that's asking too much. Yeah, self-destruction's easier. Fear and self-destruction. You can brag to all your friends or destroying yourself in some ways. Or whoever being the victim is just easier. Yeah, it's hard. It's going against it's hard. It's not what's cracked up to be. You have to, if you free yourself from, you're still going to be some kind of slave to some level, but you can still put the intentions to break free, let's put it that way. Well, others become a super NPC and they fight back and they attack you. become a mega NPC and just retaliate. And some don't know that they're slaves, or they know they are, and just make the best of it. So, I mean, this is technically a prison planet, if you really. Technically, yes. Yeah. I mean, I have the 9 to 5 job thing in the money system, so it's a prison planet energy. So, if you revoke all of that, of course, society has to be a little bit more stable, and that's not happening. It can, but it's not easy, though. Yeah, even if, I think other people know about this, but even if you do keep your frequency at a higher vibration, it's not as easy as it sounds, because you can get corrupted, or you get arrogant, and so on. Just become like, your shit doesn't stink and all that. I see plenty of that in the spiritual communities. Or you get to, yeah, you get at, and doesn't mean they're always higher frequency, but they can become, you can still be you could be at a 5th dimension and still be a trickster being. You can be a 6th dimension, be a trickster being, and so on. So it has its own darkness, let's put it that way. And they have that power, and they can still be dark and still have a lot of power, yeah, and even more advanced than the lighter energy. But then they use that to manipulate. But then it all comes back to them, though. It all comes back to them karmically. So yeah, it can be more advanced in the dark side, but there's, it's not what's cracked out to be either. So that's why you're here, warning from darkness, gaining what you can. But of course, it's so intense, and the dark beings here, the demonics, archon, whatever, they just take advantage of the ignorant. Well, that's how you get smart. That's why if you make a huge mistake, whatever, you just move forward. Yeah, grow from it. Move for others. They don't. You just when you put yourself in a prison after that and just decide not to grow, it's kind of like hiding out and afraid to do anything. Yeah, well, that's why you incarnate a few hundred times. Yeah, it's weird. Yeah, some put themselves in a jail cell. I mean, you're already in a jail, and you put yourself into another jail. Which is worse, yes. And, yeah. You can't send SEALs. If you send in SEAL Team 6 to help you, and you tell them all to leave, there's not much you can do about it. You ask for help, and you tell them, I don't want to help. I'm just going to stay in my jail cell. So, anyway. That's probably more common than people might want to realize. So, anyway. That's when they live in a life of regret, even when they get older and start realizing all of it, and so on. So, I guess we connect to the Orion energies on a neutral level. So, see, now that's what's going on right now. So, all right, blessings, here you go. Greeks, we have the Orions, the 10th dimension. Yes, even your elites don't always win, but yes, as long as they keep the frequencies low, that's the mission. So yes, there is technically, the winner is just to keep humanity at a slave society. That's the winning part of all of this. Some will break free, yes, be awakened, but it's not as easy. You might free yourself from the mental jail, but you see people break out of jail, but they have to go through all these fields and go through a sewer or whatever it might be, and it might be always on the run, technically that's how it works, even on a spiritual level. So you break out of this mental matrix and you look at things differently, metaphysically, and as some of you know, there's still a lot of difficulties there, but overall, you're still, but it's kind of like you're, not to say you're technically on the run, but it's kind of like that. I mean, you're getting bombarded by other frequencies to, they want you to lose. Because the beings having this world trapped are some of them, are they the most, yes and no? Well, they found a way to manipulate. Doesn't mean they're the most intelligent beings in the universe, far from it. But they found a way to trap society mentally. And you don't have to be the smartest being out there, you just have to know how to do it. Now, obviously, people accept their reality. And even though they say they're here to awaken others, sometimes they say, yes, you're getting more knowledge and so on, but sometimes they're not necessarily helping you free yourself. Follow me and I'll follow you, take you to the desert of nothingness. But keep you in the maze. So freeing one's mind is not easy. That's an Orion trick. A lot of this has been figured out from other worlds of how to, hijack a world. And why does this world still exist? Well, because these are lessons need to be learned. So many incarnate for, soul growth. To learn from, I wouldn't call them the master tricksters, but there is some mastery going on here. But it's also, you can bring some enlightenment to yourself too, but it might take some time. So it's not necessarily you have to do a crime to end up in a jail cell. Here you're volunteering to go through rehabilitation, to soul rehabilitation, you can say, to figure more something out about yourself. You still have a job. It doesn't mean that you're completely, because some are in a prison within a prison, literally, Rikers Island and so on. So that shows you. So those that are in a jail, in a physical one, that shows you those of, some of those demonic beings, not always, but that shows you they're trying to get out to society just to tear it apart. And some have been just enticed by it. They just, just kind of their own darkness. Hey, I'm really good at being horrible here. And so they get caught. So your prison system, the physical version of it. Not that you have to go out and heal it. I don't recommend that. Because they'll just pull you in. They just eat you for lunch, basically. Energetically, physically, and so on. But once that no longer exists, which is not is difficult, as some of you might see. They have super prisons underground. It doesn't mean you have to go into all that, but what publicly, and that's a harbor of low frequency just with that. But then you have those that are outside the prison, their families, where that itself can be a prison and low frequencies, as some of you experienced. Certain family members, either they're not demonic beings in the beginning, that's where they come from, or they just love that frequency. It only takes one to ruin it for everybody else. Doesn't mean everyone in the family is taken over. Sometimes it's the case, but not always. And so then you have the family that's been, taken over. And you have the music industry, and they go after young people, and they're trying to figure themselves out. There's some darkness, there's some wealth, and so on. So it's, distractions to pull you from yourself and to keep you, into the spice of darkness, you could say. And there's nothing wrong with knowing your darkness. There's nothing wrong with visiting it and having a balance of light and dark. It's just that it's difficult to find one's sole identity through all of it, and to figure this place out, you could say, to free yourself mentally. So it's quite complex sometimes. Just to go by your what works, because it's heavy. Because even as some of you know, higher dimension knowledge, it's like, oh yes, you can connect to the higher frequencies, but yet you're still here. Which can drive you insane. It's like I connect to the higher dimensions, but I'm still on this planet for some reason, and I'm getting kicked, and beings are trying to take me down, and so on. Where is the freedom in that? Well, it just shows you the frequencies that are lost here. Yeah, those are the ones. A lot of the more dimensional beings, they just gave up on themselves a long time ago. They're weaponized and used against society, and they don't, some of them just decide just to be in the darker realms and just to never leave, until they get tired of it, you could say. So yes, they have to change. Once again, they have to kind of retire that side of themselves, which is not easy, because once again, everyone's trying to take it down. When they're part of the dark side, they're kind of rewarded for it, even if their souls are just disgusting. Filled with rats, yes, and all kinds of things. Because once again, freeing yourself is not it's a good thing, but is not a simple task as many of you know. Still have anxieties, still have shortcomings. Nothing wrong with those things. At least you're making it through the minefield. It's just difficult. You think that you become more known of the higher dimensions, the metaphysics of reality. You think it would be graduation. Well, that's a graduation present. There's still much to learn, and also what you're bringing to society to unlock others, even if you don't know about it physically. So, same energies, blessings.